Welcome to part two of chapter seven, Retention and Motivation in Human Resource Management by Laura Portalease. And this is Dr. J. Kent Gregory. And so we'll continue on with discussing retention and motivation. And this is where we'll get into retention plans and theories behind motivation and retention plans. So first off, we'll talk about high performance work systems, so abbreviated as HPWS. And high performance work systems are essentially systematic practices that work together to create an environment where the employee has greater involvement and responsibility for the success of the organization. It's a strategic approach to ensure that the employee feels worthwhile, uh, is treated worthwhile, and is engaged in the success of the company. So when we look at what a high performance work system would look like, there are some things that we can think about. Well, here we have empowerment. Uh, Information sharing is encouraged. Pay systems are fair and transparent. There's ongoing training, formal performance feedback. And I might point out that this is in a non-threatening or punitive manner, typically, or should be. Uh, Work processes encourage interaction amongst the employees, so no one's off on their own island. Employees assist in plan change. There's teamwork and team rewards, and employees' work is rewarding. So what he or she is doing uh, delivers a level of self-satisfaction and a sense of reward to the employee. So in terms of understanding the process that goes on in terms of job withdrawal, meaning the process that an employee will go through as he or she quote unquote checks out. Uh, First off, you'll have the employee becoming, the employee's dissatisfied. And this could be for any number of reasons, a lot of them that we've talked about already. And then there can be behavior change. And this is for any number of reasons. It could be because of whistleblowing. Uh, the employee sees something that wasn't appropriate and reports it. There can also be a change of conditions. Uh, and then three, in terms of this progression, is the physical withdrawal, where the individual leaves the job. It could be an internal transfer. There could also be absenteeism, where the employee is absent a lot or sick a lot, um, tardiness, and then four, psychological withdrawal. Uh, and this is the disengagement in the job and or with team members. Uh, the employee can become less organizational or less for the employee. There's less organizational commitment, and the employee becomes less productive. But I would almost say, I mean, not almost. I think that what they put here as step four in psychological withdrawal precedes step three. So some retention plans. So one of the first ones were the Hawthorne studies. And kind of the simple breakout of this or breakdown of this is that lighting in these factory environments and break times were important. But the other thing is that they found that workers just were happy to receive attention. And so this was the start of research on motivation to work. Then there's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So there are self-actualization needs. So these are, hey, I can improve my lot. I can, advance in the company. I can, become a higher trained employee. Esteem needs. Is the employee receiving the strokes that he or she needs or should get? Social needs, working with the employees. Safety needs certainly are important. Uh, Typically, we'll think of manufacturing, but this has also become a reality in the COVID environment that we've been in. Do the employees feel safe at work? And then there are physiological needs. So that's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Then there's the Hertzberg two-factor theory, um, and they did studies, or Hertzberg did studies, to determine which aspects at work cause satisfaction or dissatisfaction, and they fell into two categories, as described by Hertzberg. So motivation factors, achievement, recognition, the work itself, and then hygiene factors. So meaning by that, not necessarily health and are you washing your hands, but company health, like company policies. What's the supervision like? What's the relationship with the manager like? Work conditions, salary, and then relationship with peers. Then there are other factors that, or other studies. There's the McGregor study, the XY theory, and this was a starting point to understanding how management style impacts motivations. So, fairly simply, X managers or X type managers are very hands-on and micromanaging, and they believe that employees would prefer not to work. The Y managers are much more hands-off and give much more autonomy to the employees, and so have kind of a more positive feeling towards the or philosophy towards employee motivation. Of course, there's the carrot and stick approach. Stick is used to poke and prod. If you don't increase sales by 10%, you'll be fired. For those of us who's been in sales, we know that well. And then the carrot approach is, if you increase your sales by 10%, you will receive a bonus. So yeah, we know that one. Um, and then finally, there are sources of employee satisfaction data. These are exit interviews and then the JDI, the Job Descriptive Index Survey. That brings us to the end of part 2.